Hi everyone. Okay, now we're on to my favorite part, which is putting the dashboard together and formatting it. So this part can definitely take the most time, but it would be the more enjoyable part, I think. So the first thing I always do, so you just add a new dashboard. It's to the right of add a new sheet. And I'll just change the size to automatic to start with, just so that it's bigger, but we may, once we publish it, we'll probably make it a bit smaller. And I'll first just drag in a blank object. Okay, so we have now got a blank object that we can bring our sheets into. Now I want to structure this by adding a title to the top, and then on the left hand side we'll have our profit and year-on-year percent change card, and then just below that we'll have a revenue card with a little line beside it just to show the trend, and then below that will be our cost of sales card, and then we'll just have four charts. The four charts that we created. We have our bubble chart, our map, our stacked bar chart, and our column chart, which shows the top 10 products sold. And then we can have our filters on the right hand side, our parameter, and we can add more filters if we like. So let's just start by adding a title. Now you'll see there is a button below our objects pane here where we can hit show dashboard title. So you can just click on this and we can make it a bit bigger. And then what we can do is just hover over it, click into it, and then there's a more options button to edit the title. Now it's currently the sheet name, which is just dashboard 1. I'll actually change that, but we want it to be bike sales analysis. Well, you can name it whatever you like, but I'll name it bike sales analysis for now. And I'm going to keep it on the left. I'm not going to center it. Again, it's a personal preference. We could tab, or not tab, you need to add spaces. If you hit tab, it brings us down to reset and then to our buttons, but you can just add spaces so that it's a little bit out of the left. I like to do that sometimes. And then we can format this again later. I'm going to actually change the background color as well, but first I would just like to start bringing in our charts. So let's just bring in first our top 10 products. Now if we drag it in, it's going to set it to a tiled container automatically, but I don't want to show it like this. So if we go more options, we can make it floating, and then we can resize it and just drag it wherever we like. Now we just need to go to our more options and fit it as well. So there's a fit entire view pane, and then it just fits the entire container. And let's hide our title as well by right clicking, hide title. Yep. Okay, maybe while I'm here as well, I will change the background color of this and of our title, just so it all stands out. We're going to make the background color of each chart different to our background canvas. Okay, and then I'll also just, we don't need to see these legends. They appear automatically because if we just, you can click this go to sheet, they're appearing here, but if we actually hide them, hide the cards on the actual sheet itself, then if we bring it in, it's not going to show up. Let's rename this sales dashboard. Okay, now for the background color, we'll just click in and format. And then under our fill bucket again and sheet, we can just change the background of the worksheet. So I'm going to set mine. It's currently at 6 Fs. I'm going to go ed. You can pick any color you like, but that's the color I want to go here. Yeah, we could go even lighter. It looks a bit dark, but we do just want it to stand out a little from the background. Yeah, still maybe a little bit higher. Yeah, we'll go F8. Okay, and we'll use that same color in all our charts. So let's just close our formatting pane and we'll bring in our bubble chart. Yeah, I'll just need to make that floating. Now ensure you just select the correct more options. Make sure you're on the right chart. More options and then floating. And then if we just drag this below, hide our title and fit entire view, it's going to fit everything. Now we do have an age group legend and we probably do want to see this, so Let's also make it floating and just bring it, we'll bring it inside the chart box. Okay, and then we're going to want to set the background for this as well to be the same. And I have already forgot what that was, even though we just did it. F8, F8, F8. Okay, control and copy. And then I'll just make this the same. Control and V. Yeah. Okay, and we're going to want to make them the same size. So if you click into it, and under layout, you can see we have our size. And we'd want to keep our X position to be the same as well, because that would represent the bottom here. It's just like a chart. X and Y would be on the left. It'd be the vertical one. So let's go with the horizontal. So X, we want to keep it the same as our above chart, which is 214. So 214, 569, and 301. So we were close. 214, 569, and 301. Yep, it's already the same size. Yeah. So our Y is obviously different, but we're going to make the charts on the right hand side be the same Y, but it can be a different X. Okay, so we actually may need to move these to the right a little, because I'm going to add a container just to the left of them, which will show our card. So maybe we'll actually maybe make it smaller and move it to the right. Now we're going to have to match again these X and Y positions and size. So I'll click into our top one first. 253, 531, and 275. 531 and 275. And you'll see the size changes as we do this. So now let's bring in another object. This time we'll bring in a vertical container and we'll make it floating. And we do have quite a bit of space at the bottom, but we'll leave it for now. Okay, inside this container then we're going to have, so we can make the background of this container be the same by going to layout, the same color background, and then we'll use the color that we've been using. We can add that to our custom colors so that it always shows up. And then inside it, let's bring in our cards. So we have our profit card. Now it's going to be floating as well. Let's hide our title and we'll fit the entire view. So we can keep it white just so that it stands out. Yeah, I'm thinking we might need to make some things a little bigger, so we do need to keep changing the size as we work through this. On the right hand side, it's the same color, but it's quite hard to see. We actually have a container, and that arrived from whenever we brought in this chart, and it brought the legend with it. So let's just close that. So we do have plenty of space here. I'll just move these over, and until we actually have everything in, maybe we'll just set our size then. We'll set all our sizes to be the same, because I'm going to actually bring this down as well and make our container here a bit bigger, like this. Yeah, and then yeah, it's going to be something like this. And then let's bring in our other two charts as well, actually, while we're here. So we have our map. I'm going to put it on the bottom right. So if we drag it in and make it floating, we can drag it across here. Hide our title. So it already is fit to view because it's a map. So we don't have to set that. and then our final chart, which will be our subcategories stacked bar chart. So fit entire view, we'll make it floating, hide our title. So it's actually brought in some categories here as well. We probably would want to see our female and male legend. Make this floating and just bring it up beside. But if I delete this, now it's actually going to, if I was to delete this straight away, it would actually delete the container that it's held inside as well. You can see it's gone. So I'm just going to undo that by hitting Control and Z. And the first, I'll just make it floating, and then I will delete it. And then it keeps the container. We want to keep that there. Okay, so let's change the background of our final chart that we brought in. And we remember we added it to our custom colors. Yep, and then now we just want to add our final cards on our charts. So I want to show the year-on-year percent change beside the profit by making it floating. A lot of this is quite repetitive, but it's necessary. And fit entire view. Yeah, I just want to get everything in first, and then we can start deciding how to view it. Our revenue card. Just bring it down, hide the title. And then we have our revenue line chart as well. Make it floating. And if you remember, I did say I wanted to probably hide our axis. So it's very hard to see this chart here because the axis is there. So let's just right click into the axis and untick the show header. And we can do that for both. And then we just have a little line. But it's really just to show the trend of the revenue. And then we finally have our cost cards. So I'll just drag it in, hide the title, and we'll just bring it underneath and fit the entire view. Okay, so that's all our charts and cards in. Our parameter has automatically come in as well then with one of these, but we're actually going to keep it. We want to show our parameter, so let's keep it there. We'll just make it floating. It all automatically comes in as tiled. If we make it floating, we can keep this container on the right that's come in as well. So we'll put the year parameter inside that. Just need to make it a bit bigger. Okay, so we'll leave it like this for now, and in the next video I'll add some more filters, do some final formatting, and then we can publish this dashboard. So I'll see you in the next video.